Welcome, Capricorn. It's time for your annual strategic forecast. We're here to look at the powerful shifts coming your way in 2026 and to bring some real clarity to the year ahead. So let's begin. First things first, you have to understand that 2026 is not just another year, not by a long shot. All the data points to this being a huge inflection point, a moment of really fundamental change. We're calling it the year of the Great Reset. And to really get a handle on what this year is all about, we have to start by looking at its core energy signature. And that begins with its numerological mandate. 1. That's it. The entire frequency of the year is humming with the vibration of the single digit. It's the number of pure potential, of a brand new start, of the self, standing alone, ready to create something entirely new. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, numerologically, 2026 is a universal 1 year. That means it's the beginning of a completely new 9-year cycle for absolutely everyone. But for you, Capricorn, this is a profound call to action. You're shifting gears, moving away from building those external empires you're so good at, and towards something more personal, consolidating your own authentic legacy. You're being asked to step up as the primary architect of your own destiny. Now, let's see how this energy shows up in the stars. When we look at the cosmic architecture of 2026, it is completely dominated by one single powerful event. And this event is all about dissolving and reshaping the very foundation of your life. To understand this, you need to know the main players. On one side, you have your ruling planet, Saturn, the great architect. Saturn is all about structure, reality, discipline, boundaries. It builds the world you can see and touch. And on the other side, we have Neptune, the dreamer. Neptune is about dissolution, dreams, spirit, transcendence. Its job is to dissolve illusion. So here's where it gets really interesting. In February of 2026, these two polar opposite forces are going to meet in a very rare conjunction. And they're meeting in Aries, which activates your 4th house, the most private, foundational area of your life. We're talking about home, family, and your deepest psychological roots. So what this means is that this transit is demanding a hard reset of your foundational reality. You're going to be asked to redefine what home and belonging even mean to you. This is about dismantling old walls, both internal and ancestral ones, and re-engineering your family dynamics. And the most important part, you'll be learning how to take your spiritual visions and build them into something real with disciplined, concrete action. Okay, with that core understanding in place, we can now turn to your strategic blueprint. Let's break down the year's potential sector by sector. This gives you a quick overview of where your energy is likely to bring the best results. And as you can see, the potential is incredibly high across the board. Career, finance, real estate, family, love, they're all heavily weighted. What this tells us is that any disciplined effort you make in these areas is going to yield significant returns. That it also means you're going to have to be very conscious about where you put your focus. Professionally, your year unfolds in 3 very clear phases. Think of it as a methodical ascent. The first half of the year is all about an internal audit, refining your systems, getting your house in order, and preparing for a pivot. Then, mid-year, the focus shifts outward to forging strategic alliances. And you'll close out the year consolidating your power and resources, really cementing your long-term legacy. Your financial strategy for the year mirrors that same discipline. The first quarter, it's all about managing costs and clearing out any debt. Quarter 2 is for securing your assets. Think stable, long-term investments. In Q3, prudence is everything. You want to prioritize stability over any risky impulse. And the year closes with a push for diversification, especially into property. The big theme here is a shift from active hustle to more passive, long-term wealth generation. In your relationships, things are really set to mature this year. The best way to describe it is a journey from storm to serenity. Thoughtful, honest conversations are going to become the absolute bedrock of your connections. The year might start with a little turbulence, but mid-year really acts as a game changer, building some deep mutual trust. The focus is definitely on long-term commitment, and for any singles out there, you're most likely to find meaningful connections through your professional network. So, we've analyzed the terrain. We understand the landscape. Now let's talk about the tools you can use to navigate it. Your year really unfolds like a 4-act story. Spring kicks off with the energy of the King of Wands, This is when your success and hard work start to become really visible. Then comes summer with the Queen of Pentacles, where your practical planning pays off in a big financial way. Autumn brings in the Knight of Cups, presenting new creative and maybe even romantic offers. And finally, the year reaches its climax in winter with the powerful card of Judgment. This signals a major karmic decision, one that is set to change your direction entirely. Now, these aren't superstitions. Think of them as strategic tools for energetic alignment. You might consider a daily spiritual practice to strengthen your internal resolve. The Shiny Beej mantra, for instance, is traditionally used to honor Saturn's energy. In your home, keeping the north direction clear of clutter can support financial stability. And stones like blue sapphire or amethyst can be worn as physical anchors to remind you of your own discipline and strength.
So, after all of that, let's distill this entire analysis down into a single core directive for you.
Your primary strategy for 2026 is simply experimentation. Now, I know, for a Capricorn, that can feel completely counterintuitive, but the cosmic currents are absolutely demanding it. The mandate for this year is to abandon the rigid routines and the systems you know so well, and instead favor innovative, flexible, maybe even radical new ways of doing things. So, this is where we're left. The blueprints of your past are dissolving. The very structures that you have built your life on are becoming, well, immaterial. So the single most important question that 2026 is going to ask of you is this: what new foundation, one rooted in both your deepest truth and your highest vision, will you choose to build now?